Folks, hello, and welcome to Iron Rations. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and the man whose hair isn't the hair you see. He's not the historian from the History Channel. None other than Joe the lawyer.
I do like history, so you know, and my hair is kind of long. All I gotta do is I get a big old can of Aquanet. Remember that shit from the 80s and 90s with the big hair? And I get a can of that. I could look like that dude. I think, I think I could.
I think I could.
I think I could. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
It's a 4-day week, and it feels like a 40-day week. It's like that. What the hell happened this week?
Sometimes, man. You know what? Here. I'm going to put it this way. I am privileged to be retired. That's a privilege I have. Yeah. And one day you too shall enjoy that privilege. So
I hope so. That's why I bought Lotto tonight,
Well, there you go. So now we were discussing something, and we're not, and besides a few words we're going to throw in the front here, we had enough stuff to discuss otherwise. But we were discussing some of the current conversation going on in the OSR and gaming beyond, and have to do with a list that's on the RPG site. Find it yourself. I'm not going to link it, and it's kind of like Candyman. You don't want to say it too often. You get undue attention.
There's 85 fucking pages of this thing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at it now. I haven't logged into this in a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my password is incorrect. Bite me. That's how long it's been. I don't know what the hell my password is anymore. But it's like, holy shit, 85 pages to this damn list,
So yesterday I made a statement explaining why the tavern is in neutral ground. And the comments on YouTube have been very supportive. I've got a few vocal individuals on Facebook that disagree. Mm-hmm. Some of them having a conversation where they mention me, but they don't tag me, so they really don't want me to participate, but they want to make it seem like they're talking about me.
Yeah.
So you don't miss out, but you miss out. But in any case, Joe and I were discussing, and Joe brought up the movie War Games.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites back in the day, man.
Oh, God.
My favorites.
Was that Matthew Broderick's breakout role?
Yeah, I think, it was that or something else right around that time. But, yeah, that's when he busted loose. And after that, he had Ferris Bueller. I don't remember that shit.
Right. And then you also have Lady Hawk.
I think you're right.
It's embarrassing to admit that I remember that movie, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I saw the poster last time I was at your house on your wall, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no, there's no posters on any of my walls. I got to put art up, by the way.
Art, nice art now. Huh?
Yeah, dude, the cover art for Continual Light. I'm getting the original inks on that, so
nice.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
Man. I got a license plate on my wall. Somehow or another, I came across an actual New York City license plate. I mean, it's not one of those fake remake ones.
Right.
And the license plate, all it says is writer, WRITER. That's it.
All right.
Perfect.
Good.
You got to hang it up. Yeah, right. I'm right in front of me right now. Yeah. It's like I got it at a used bookstore in Connecticut. I was like, where did this come from? He goes, a guy knew a guy knew a guy. I'm like, and who knew a guy who ripped it off at the bottom of a car?
There you go. That's why you want a vanity plate so somebody can steal it. Go, oh, look, R2D2. Let me take that one.
That reminds me of what was that Seinfeld episode when Kramer came across a plate and it was called Ass Man.
Oh, geez.
I loved it. He loved Ass Man. Anyhow, license plates and asses and everything else.
The quote that Joe brought up from War Games, I think, is very appropriate. Because, again, I'm getting a sizable amount of grief because I'm using my privilege to say I'm neutral. I don't take a stand on most things because most things are not in my wheelhouse and I'm not knowledgeable about it and whatever. It's not my, dare I say it, concern. There are things that you get worked up about. There are things that don't directly affect you that you don't get worked up about. That's life. But in any case, Joe's quote from War Games, again, I think is very apropos. A strange game. The only winning move is not to play. How about a nice game of chess? The only way to literally not get shat upon right now is to not make any kind of statement, even one saying I'm making a statement about why I am keeping out of this fray. gets you flack. But here's the thing: the statement that the argument against me is that since I don't take a stand, therefore I'm taking a stand.
You can't win. I mean, like that's what made me think the war games. You can't win this game. You know, thermonuclear war. No matter what you do, you're destroyed as soon as you enter the game. You're just done.
All right. So now, in regards to the list, Shadar wants to know if you would this be a form of slander? This list, I don't think so. Because opinion.
Well, slander is spoken live.
So it's be libel.
Sort of, it'd be more like lie, if at all. I'm not saying it is.
Right.
But you know, it would be, yeah. So I don't know. And I'm only a half-assed lawyer anyway, so who the fuck knows? but the bottom line is, hey, Rob Connolly just showed up. I mean, everybody talks about when they ask legal advice. It's interesting. Is this the law? What is the law? Can I win? Maybe. You know, because it's all about you may win, you may not. Depends on the judge, it depends on the jury, depends on the case, depends how shitty or good the lawyer is, and it depends on the you know, the jurors might have woken up with a bad neck and want to go to hell home, and the easiest way out of it is to say fuck it, right? And so you don't know what you're going to get, right? And then the other side of it is it worth arguing? Is it worth bringing it to court? Is it worth suing them for? Do you lose by playing that game, right? Because you're out 10 grand, 20 grand. How do you might have to prove damages too? How are you going to prove damages? What was it before? What is it now? Damages meaning how much money you lost, right? You know, it's a shit show. It's a crapshoot, basically. You know.
Well, that's what you had with Zach Smith, right? And his lawsuits, which seemed to have, if you were playing craps, he would have crapped out, right? I mean, so, but a lot of times, the threat of a lawsuit, and by the way, I've been threatened with legal action by some of the best. The threat of legal action is often enough to silence critics, because nobody wants to go through that risk of possibly getting sued. Again, you could win and still be out tens of thousands of dollars or more in legal expenses. So
a long time ago, I had a friend who had a review. They put a book out. We were talking early Amazon days, 20 years ago, right? Christ, it must be in 2001. There was an Amazon review up, and it was detrimental. And so they said, hey, can you write a legal Joe the lawyer letter kind of thing to Amazon, put it on letterhead, yada, yada. And I referenced this and that. So I did. And they took the fucking review down, you know? And so, like I say, it's just sometimes just a threat. It's like, shit, he's a real lawyer. They must have looked me up somewhere. And, you know, and they, fuck, is it worth it? Or are you just going to delete this asshole's post? So I deleted it, which personally I don't agree with, but it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think everybody should have the right to say where the hell they want, unless you, like you said, the old classic example of yelling fire in a movie theater, right? You know? That's I don't know. I mean, you look at these things, and there's no, like you say, there's no way to judge if you're going to win. No way to judge if you're going to lose. You may be right, but you may lose. You may be wrong, and you may win. Who the fuck knows, right? But
listen, before we go on to our main topic, I was the foreman of a 6-person jury civil case, slip and fall in a city bus, and we go to deliberations, and what it came down to is you need 5 out of 6 for a civil trial. You don't need a unanimous jury decision. You need 5 out of 6 in New York State, and 4 of us, the New York City police sergeant, the corrections officer, the Board of Education teacher, and the Verizon employee, all felt there was enough evidence to go on to that there was enough fault to go on to damages. The 2 office workers who had to go in every night after jury duty to Manhattan and go to their cubicles for 4 to 6 hours before coming back the next day to deliberate were not going to find the city at fault for any reason, because they did not want to come back one day longer than they had to.
Yeah.
And we were hung. I had to tell the judge we were hung. He threatened to bring us in over the weekend. I said, Your Honor, for 4 of us, that will not be an issue. It's not going to change the mind of the other 2. And we were dismissed without the thanks of the court.
Oh, wow.
So I was told by another lawyer that likely this case had been hung more than once.
Yeah. I've seen. I used to work in the courthouse in a capacity where I sat through a lot of trials, saw a lot of jury selections, literally thousands of people being asked the voir dire questions, and I must have seen 60 trials, right? Jury,
Right.
all civil. And afterwards, the judge often talks to the jurors. Thank you for your service. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And most judges try to figure out without asking directly. So why'd you make that decision? How come? What swayed you? What didn't sway you? Right? Because they're curious. They've been lawyers too. They want to know. And I heard some of the most boneheaded, stupid ass shit come out of their mouths based on how they made their decisions. I'm like sitting there like, holy shit. I would never, ever put my faith in if I was in anything. No, never a jury trial, man. I'd rather have a judge do it,
Yeah.
Dumbass reasoning behind their decisions, and I'm just never going to deal with that.
Oh, by the way, if we go any further, want to make sure that we're not getting any feedback. I'm not wearing a headset, so it's coming through my computer speakers. I want to know if the listeners are getting any feedback. If they are, I have a headset I can grab. Just
sounds good to me. I hear no, nice.
You don't hear it, but that's likely it's good. But
yeah.
I'm sure Rob or Matt or Shads or one of the other live listeners would be more than happy to fuck with us and tell us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear all the fucking feedback. Audio is fine, thank you, Shad. All right, we wanted to make sure. So now, why do we have Lamentations of the Flame Princess? By the way, if you want to play along at home, go to lotp.blogspot.com. It's the latest post. Joe being part of the video is a problem. Listen, sorry, Matt. I've known Joe longer time than I know you.
It's true, actually, huh? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's scary, actually, ain't it?
I know. Other than a couple of years off, I took off of everything, all things social media, and D&D and online. Yeah, we've been tight forever, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. So here's the no AC this time. I turned it off, opened up my window. You might get some backyard karaoke from my Filipino neighbors. If you hear somebody really drunk start singing Journey with a Filipino accent off key, that's
one of my drunken karaoke go-tos, man.
I'll
do Journey, and the big one I'll go for drunken karaoke wise is Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Only if I can find a partner.
My God.
I'll wail the shit out of that one, man.
It's Journey, Foreigner, and the Eagles are their go-tos.
Okay, all right. So, I've actually done U2. Where the Streets Have No Name. I've done that on that. There's a lot of booze in me that night. But yeah, as far as I remember, I pulled it off well. Were they laughing? I don't know. I don't remember that part.
There you go. Listen, whatever works. We do karaoke at our pub on Fridays and Saturdays. I think Fridays are the youngins and Saturdays are the, I guess, karaoke grognards, the older crew.
Nice. Jesus, man. So here we are, Lamentations. We're going to hear
we have
karaoke death metal, James Raggy.
Listen, I could have put up the picture of James laying out in his bed naked, which is still burned into my head.
I got that with the dice on his ass. I saved that picture for all time somewhere in my
archive.
There's that
because
it's
still up on Google.
Just this purpose. You never know when you want to pull that thing up again, man.
Yeah, we want to gain subscribers, not lose them. I think we're 9 away from 1,000. I think we'd like to
really?
keep a little gain. We're that close. But as you get close, then people keep going, well, I don't know, this fuck 10 car. And the other guy, people go, oh, wow, he's actually halfway entertaining. So it's who knows. So James is going to have 10 new releases. They've gone to press. And listen, for the most part, it's an impressive list of creators. Some of them, I will admit that I don't know. It's not a slight on the creators. I don't know everyone. I don't know every event going on in this community. I didn't know about this until fucking Rob Conley himself sent me a message this morning. So, some of the creative teams, Ezra Claviri and Yannick Bouchard, don't know them, sorry. Christopher Carosella and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I know of the MoMA. I don't know of Christopher. Joe Bittman, I do know. And Benjamin Mara with J.F. Martell. Kelvin Green, I think if you've been following Lamentations, you know Kelvin. Courtney Campbell with Rich Longmore. Courtney is somebody whose work I definitely follow. Looking forward to that. Glenn Seal, holy shit, Mr. Middlelands himself.
I know. It's like the Raji's back, baby.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like this is cool.
Kelvin Green again. Alex Mayo and Nani Mouse. I've never heard of a Nani Mouse.
No,
I know of Alex Mayo. Exciting stuff. And then some no extra charge bonus material. MC Franklin and Yannick Boucard again. And James Raggy, Laura Jalal, and Eno Porhonen. Again, some of these names, I don't know if I'm butchering your name. I don't beg forgiveness. I just request it.
It's easier. Yeah. What is this? Eric's Borders or something else?
Yeah, they're fading in that reality. I'm playing with a new camera and with my virtual green screen because, listen, Rach walks in behind me half the time as I'm doing this. She's quiet, but I don't think you need to be distracted by my wife, who certainly looks better than I do. So, look at this face. Don't look at the blonde that occasionally walks behind. That's why we have the virtual green screen up. I'm just trying to catch up to. Makes me have the Phyllis Diller hair again. You know what? We're gonna do Hollywood Squares one day with the gaming group from Joe's 2 gaming groups. We should do that at Hollywood Squares, and then we can
Hollywood Square.
have everybody up here, 3 across, 3 down. And then have the live listeners do Hollywood Squares. It could be really amazing. Drunken karaoke with an accent sounds like a blast. Didn't William Hung sell a bunch of albums of his tone deaf covers? I guess you can do. I guess if you are on TV, which of the fake talent shows was he on? Was he on America's Got Talent or the other one?
It sounds like a porn dude.
No.
Who knows this guy?
He was on like America's Got Talent or the other one, Crazy Singers or some shit like that.
Okay.
I don't quite remember. Is Lamentations the Flame Princess the same list of creators as Wonderfilled? No, the Wonderfilled list is a handful of individuals that worked in some capacity at the original TSR in the past, and therefore Wonderfilled is trying to claim it makes them more TSR than TSR3. Yeah. And since neither one is the real TSR or the real Slim Shady, I guess we have to say none of the above. American Idol. Thank you, DM Kurt. Well, I do appreciate it.
Since we're on the subject of Raji and porn, no, you think you know where I'm going with this, but you don't.
Uh-oh.
Truly. There you go, Eric.
Well, what'd you do?
I just did a share.
All right. Here we go. There you go.
There you go. There he is. Dice bag on the ass.
So folks, that is. And I'll be honest with you. I never noticed a dice bag on the ass in that shot.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Staring at his lovely face the whole time.
Yeah, I guess I was afraid to have my eyes travel farther.
Oh,
down.
you didn't want to go back that far. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, this dude, he's got balls for, not that I could tell right here in this post, but he's got balls for doing this fucking picture in the first place. You know what I mean? I mean, goddamn, man.
Hey, I'm gonna be doing fucking yoga in like hot yoga pants.
When is this fundraiser? For
we gotta hit 1,000.
That's what it was. 1,000 people, guys.
1,000 subscribers, and it's gonna be the earliest it will be is a Friday after game hall or Saturday after game hall.
Okay.
I am not doing this before I go to a convention.
All right.
Got to be after because
less ball busting when you get there.
Yeah, I have. You know what? I may have. I may lack a certain amount of self-respect that I don't really worry too much about, but I have limits.
Yeah, no, that would be. I mean, and Matt, you're already in, man. You're still here. We both have pledged $100 into this charity. What is it, Eric? What are you doing at the charity for?
We're going to do it for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
That's right. Yeah. Good.
And we will do it in Doug Ray's name. Doug, last update, Doug is at home. I believe that his immediate family, they're not going anywhere. They've got COVID, and Doug is not going to go anywhere until he leaves us. So,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
But in any case, yes, it's a Meatloaf type of deal. Yes, the Flaming Princess is lamenting. I don't know if she's lamenting that. I don't know if anybody would be. But in any case,
200 if he wears a thong, says Matt. $200 if you wear a thong, Eric. I don't know. It's for charity, man. It's for charity. Fuck that. It's only so far.
I can only take it so far. Now, if Matt was willing to give 1,000,
Matt.
Then, but we'd have to make sure the belly didn't hang over the thong, so I might have to lose another.
Better start doing some sit-ups, then, motherfucker. I've seen your belly. Better get ready. Who might have talked? Mine goes down to my knees, so what the fuck, right? But
here now, Rob is going to make a good point here. I'm going to go on a limb here, but the thing is, aside from weird and disturbing pictures, and the referee book, James is outstanding how he treats his authors and other creators. And yes.
Yep, I heard the same thing. I've heard that he always pays on time no matter what. If he owes you money, you're getting paid on that money.
All right, you're going to get paid before James pays himself. And there are few publishers that will do that. I mean, listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Do I swim in a frog god pond? Certainly. I'm not an employee, but am I associated? Yes. Yeah. But I've heard from third parties that are freelancers that Frog God pays fairly and they pay on time. Mm. You're not going to be tracking them down to say, where the fuck is my money?
Oh, yeah.
Which is honestly, it's the worst thing that could ever happen.
I had a conversation, maybe to preface this with last time, 2 weeks ago, when we had the show, I mentioned James, and I said, just, at the end of the show, man, if you want, I'll reach out to the guy, check in, see what he wants, see what he's doing. Maybe he wants to come on the show and talk. So I did. I reached out, sent him an email, and he responded pretty quickly. He says, what's up? What do you want to talk about? I said, well, just, video chat and whatever the hell you use and just yak about stuff. And so honestly, I was wondering, what's going on, if you want to be on our show at some point. And so I said, no commitment. If you want, let's just get together and talk. So 2 days later, Sunday afternoon for me, it was like 8:00 for him. We just talked for about an hour, 15 minutes. And the first thing he says to me was, so is this on the record or off the record? I said, dude, it's just off the record. It's just talking, man. You're catching up. We haven't talked in years. We used to talk a lot. We haven't talked in years.
Which means I'm going to remind Joe, no private details.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not going to divulge, but just basically, it was good to yak. It was good to catch up. We talked about a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff in this long ass screed that he wrote and posted today was talked about in our conversation. So, that was 90% of the conversation, other than just the social stuff, old friends yakking kind of shit, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
About, but yeah, that was a lot of the conversation when he talks about here. It makes me wonder if our conversation served as a rough outline for this, because this actually took a long time to write.
Yeah, so, it could have been the seed that brought this to front. Because I'll be honest with you, and I will throw myself under the bus. I understand the sin of avoidance when it comes to stuff that's late. I used to do it. If anybody here knows me on a personal level, all right, I am not the most organized individual that you're going to find. Bad Mike and I probably will have to fight it out to who's the least organized in the OSR. All right. My role for, 3 or 4 years was as the administrative sergeant for a division. Which meant that all the communications came to me, and I had to know when things were due, and I had to make sure things are taken care of. And how I sorted that was a pile of shit, and it was the pile of shit that was probably should look at fairly frequently, and pile of shit to look at in a month. Mm-hmm. And there were times that when that pile of shit, you got the oh shit phone call, and then you had to make the oh shit, get the shit done right now, yesterday.
Yeah. Dig it out from the bottom.
I will say that it's my belief that in the case of the Lamentations, the Flame Princess, Weird Fantasy Ref book, that's gotten into that category of I don't want to. If I avoid it, avoidance is fine. Once I deal with it, I'm going to deal with the stress of it, and I understand that. I'm going to give advice to James, and it's totally unsolicited. Update the Indiegogo. That's all your backers want, and guess what? It's going to pay you back in sales because we're going to go through some other stuff that James is talking about, and why, if you believe in what James produces, and I'll be the first person to say that a lot of James's recent writings have been not usable, but his freelance stuff has been. It's all been beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely. Great.
And it's been great to James's stuff is good to read.
Yeah.
It's a fun fucking read with a total party fuck.
I can't play it. And the good thing about it, man, when we talked, you know how James is. I mean, you read this thing, you see how he is. He lays it all the fuck out. Yeah. He hides nothing. He just blurts. It's almost like he has a mild Tourette's or some shit going on. You know what I mean? He just says anything. He doesn't care. And I like that. I respect that. You always know where a guy like that's coming from, right? So I was blunt with him. I said, listen, man, I don't know if he's been out of the loop on everything for a couple of years now on social media. I said, I had a podcast. I talked about it. I did a 10-minute podcast just saying, where the fuck's the book? I said, pissed me off. I'm like, and then I said to him, I said, not that I heard your other video. I saw you in the snow thing. And I'm like, just keep the fucking money. You know what I mean? But he's like, no. It's there's a plan. I'm not going to say what we talked, and there's a plan. And I believe he's going to try his very best to fulfill that plan. Right. So I think that's the case, and not divulge anything else. But the other thing I told him too about the playability of his game. So listen, man, I bought a lot of your shit. And I read the list, like 8-9 books over there. I'm looking at them right now on the shelf. Starting way back with Carcosa, for God's sakes. I got the first deluxe edition, the Grindhouse edition, I got 6 copies of just the Rules and Magic I'm looking at right now for games that I ran with people. Because I told them I had a 2-3 year campaign. Love the system. I said, I can't play your modules. I told him they just not my style of game. And he's like, oh, that's fine. I respect that. He doesn't care. He knows he's not for everybody. He just, he appreciates the honesty too. I get it. It's not for everybody. It's an acquired taste. But I said, it's a great fucking rule system. I told him about mine. I said, you inspired me. That's what I'm doing mine now. So he's cool. It's just good to talk to a guy who's like that. And hope he does come on our show at some point and we can, talk some more about it. But yeah, if you read this thing, blunt and open. So that's why everything he has here.
Well, here's the thing. Like, was it the monolith at the end of time? The total fuck of an adventure will totally fuck any party, and there's no way to beat it. James even says at the beginning something that's almost a direct quote from War Games. The only way for your party to win is to not go on this adventure. To avoid it like a fucking plague, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, James has a sense of humor. So when James had the do or die moment last summer, I backed. I bought. I spent hundreds of dollars and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And Rach she's like, listen, it's July, your birthday's the end of the month. She goes, I'll buy it for you, but are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, why? She goes, aren't you still waiting on something for years? And this is why I'm trying to change.
Even Rach knows this too.
She knows. So funny. Rach is wired.
Dude, you probably paid for that when you were still dating, and now you're married for how many years?
It'll be 10 in November. Yeah. But here's the thing. So I said to Rach, I go, listen, this is the albatross around James's neck, and we understand that. But if James produces stuff, it is good stuff. It is exceptional quality. So yeah, I'm going to do this. She's like, all right, I'll give you the cash for it. And she goes, and if you don't get shit, don't come to me for more money because I just spent it on you. I'm like, all right,
cut off. No,
and it, obviously it came. So James has he explains that one of the reasons why there's 8 books coming out at one time. Some of these books have been in a process for a while.
Yeah, years, I think on some of them.
Yeah, COVID has been a pain in the ass, but before that, finish. God, it's a weird thing to say, right? Finish shipping? No, I'm not finished shipping. No, finish shipping. Finland shipping. Shipping from Finland, prices went up, but apparently he's found a more economical way to ship. But for the most part, if you're shipping one book, if you're buying one book, you're still gonna get fucked. If you're only ordering one book compared to the price you're paying. And this is the same way coming from the US to anywhere outside the US. All right. People complain. I've seen people complain to publishers. I think Bed Mike and I have spoken about this on Wednesday nights. It does suck. Shipping is huge.
Yep.
The best way for folks to get around it is to actually buy a lot of stuff at once. Does that mean that 8 things at one time is going to fit into everybody's wallet? He's releasing 8 books.
Makes a strange ass kind of sense with what with the shipping cost you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does make a strange kind of sense. And if you do buy all 8, James is throwing in some free shit.
Yeah. And I just, because when we did talk, he was talking about how, I think he talks about it in here, so I'm not giving anything away, how the big 2 things that he had were Veins of the Earth and Zach's book, whatever the hell it was. And he says, that basically he only has 50 copies of Veins of the Earth. And he's not publishing anymore, I think he said.
Right.
And so that's it. He's done. So, and he had told me that a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get that. It's one of the ones I don't have that it looks pretty good. So when he posted this today, I'm like, fuck, I got to order this now. Thank God I just got paid. So I paid almost as much for goddamn shipping, because the only place you could buy it is the European store. I paid almost as much for fucking shipping as I did for the book itself. But it's on its way. And I figured once people read that, there's going to be a deluge of everybody wants the last one. You know what I mean? So let me
right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Veins is going away. Red and Pleasant Land, which we're going to touch on a dangerous topic momentarily. All right. And I'm going to have to preface this because I've been told that my stand on Zach is problematic.
Oh.
All right. Again, personally, I wouldn't piss on Zach if he was on fire. Okay. And that's because of my personal interactions with him. I personally think he's a piece of shit. And does it make the accusations against him more valid? It makes them certainly plausible. And again, as I stated before, and I'll state again, as a trained law enforcement officer, I got to go by evidence I can use. I don't have evidence I can use to say, well, fuck this man's business. Red and Pleasant Lands, as much as I detest Zach, is probably in my top 5 OSR releases in the years I've been following the OSR.
That's funny because I can't play that. You said that before, and I'm like, really? Like Vornheim, some of the tables in Vornheim to me.
Oh, Vornheim sucks. Vornheim sucks shit. Don't get me wrong.
The tables in that, some of them are pretty good. I've used some of the tables, and he was inventive.
The presentation hurt my fucking brain.
Yeah,
I think Vornheim is overrated by far. But Red and Pleasant Land, no, that shit's good. It's good. I mean, is it good to play through? I don't know. I've never run it. But is it beautifully presented, and is it well written?
It's a nice book.
Yeah.
Looking over there, I'm looking at it now, right next to Frostbitten and Mutilated and all the other Raji books I got.
What? One day I'm gonna have to go through and catalog just my Lamentations of the Flame Princess books and see which few I am missing. It isn't many. Yeah. And that says a lot about James's quality because, there are some Swords and Wizardry releases from Frog God that I am missing, some of the older ones.
Yeah.
But I've been following James's stuff from the beginning. Again, James's problem is often he sets such a high bar for himself that it's he succeeds, yet he doesn't see it as success. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. It's a lot of people that consider themselves frauds. The most powerful, or people who made it to the top of whatever their fields. It's like they talk about it sometimes. They feel like they're not legitimately there, especially ones who came from a background that doesn't lend itself to that high up level of ascension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody comes from a hard scrabble, working class, blue collar kind of background, and they make it to CEO of some big ass company. They often do feel like frauds. They're like,
imposter
I don't believe this. Yeah, exactly. Imposter.
But you know what? I know people who in this industry that if they really had to could make a full-time living off this industry.
Yeah.
They are that skilled.
Yeah.
Who suffer from imposter syndrome because they don't believe that they really deserve the success they have.
And a lot of it, I think, comes from his background. I mean, this ain't no secret that he didn't come from a lot of money. Trust me, right? That kind of thing. So, I think just when you come from no money like that, that you do like, geez, he's rolling in money. He had more than he knew what to do with. He's saying in here, and he's like, wow, man, I don't know, and he's did it stupid shit with it, obviously, because it's
Right.
like the people who win $5 million in Lotto. They blew it all in one year, and they're back to work at Stop and Shop, pushing carts again. You know what I mean?
So, wasn't that one of the actors from Fresh Prince was working at like Stop and Shop or Costco for
I think
a
one of
while?
those guys. You're right. I think.
Yeah, I think the uncle or something like that. Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's where the actor went. David, I refuse to buy an RPG book called "Vaginas Are Magic." Listen. I'm not blaming you. Blood in the Chocolate was pretty. I'm not going to say that everything that James publishes is playable, but you will certainly get a quality, physical, produced piece, well written, excellent art. Might not be art that you will find pleasing based upon the subject matter, but the quality of the art is usually hard to argue with.
Yeah. I actually play tested one. James ran it for me. It was like a pickup. Hey, you want to play test this? He got a bunch of us together. We did it, and it was. You guys can tell me which one it is who know it. I forget all the time because it scarred me for life. Because James ran it. It's his own creepy ass adventure, and it was the one where there was a baby drag like an undead evil demon.
Oh God,
baby.
I know which one you're talking about.
She was dragging around its mother by her umbilical cord, and she was a corpse. And it's like walking around
mother or something shit like
I don't
that.
know what the hell it was. It freaked me out, man. I blocked it out. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I said to him, I said, "Hey, man, did I ever make the credits on that?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I don't remember." As a play tester, he goes, "I don't remember." But would you want to? I said, "I don't know, man."
There, I know exactly because I can picture the image. I can picture. I know the art impression. I probably own it, and I probably wasn't able to read through it. Again, and James will be the first person to say that he will publish stuff that is certainly cringeworthy, and I guess he's always waiting for I'm going to publish something that's going to be the nail in the coffin that nails my coffin. I'm going to say this: if Zach Smith and the association with Zach Smith, and then the disassociation with Zach Smith, because Zach Smith was the moneymaker, if that whole fucking bullshit hasn't put a nail in the coffin, nothing will. So I think that
he's still here. You're right. That's a good way to look at it. The guy can't be killed. He's like the troll. He's like a troll. You can't quite kill him. Fire and acid won't kill him.
Right.
This guy. That's true. That's true, man.
By the way, they're bringing up free RPG Day because of Vaginas Are Magic. That was a free RPG Day release.
That's awesome.
Here's the thing, and James mentions this. He stopped working with Free RPG Day because another publisher, I guess, did not want to be associated with Free RPG Day if James was participating in it. And I don't know if it's because of the type of product that James puts out or the quality of product that James puts out. If you're putting out a fucking hardcover for Free RPG Day, you probably have no business sense. But
and I think he admitted that, didn't he?
It was stupid. But you are doing something that others are never going to be able to do.
Yep.
And God bless you for doing so. So
that's his aesthetic though, man. That metal. And that's the way he rolls. And I think part of his angst or anguish is that he's not, because I think that comes across here. There's a lot going on with him right now.
No. Where did my link go?
I think a lot of what's going on there is like I think he may feel, I'm just guessing, that's not part of our conversation. I think he may feel that he's not being true to himself and his own beliefs and aesthetic because of what he did or what happened or where he's at and what he I think that might be what's going on. Anybody conflicted like that, it's got to have some issues.
Right. No, it isn't. He did not put in. Oh my God, I can't.
What happened?
Because I can't spell Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Apparently,
this is what happens. Your shit crashes when you start trying to cruise porn and do the podcast.
You can blame my son for that, right?
What the what? Your son?
My son popped in unexpectedly. I hadn't seen him.
Oh,
since last May, the night before I was going to go and see my cardiologist for the first time, was turned into a 2-week-long hospital stay.
Jesus.
Yeah, he unexpectedly paid us a visit Wednesday.
Cool.
Left this morning.
Cool, so you just drop by.
I understand and I wish to continue. Why the
What? You talking to me? What?
All right, so I'm trying to log into the Lamentations of the Flame Princess blog.
Oh, okay.
And it says sensitive content warning. Here, I'll put it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so you get the sensitive content.
Yeah. You click the orange thing, man.
Right. So here, my points is on the orange thing.
Yeah. What happens? What are we looking at here?
We go right back to the fucking. I go right back to the same fucking thing.
What the hell? That's weird.
Yeah.
It's goddamn weird.
All right, so hold on.
That's fucked up, man. Figures.
Yeah.
It's a Friday that felt like a Monday, though, all day.
Best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. Let's try this again. All right, let me try it. Let me try a different browser. How about that?
Yeah, I was thinking it might be some conflict. You may have to reboot. Something.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, not worth it. No, you can always pull it up on your phone and read it off of there.
True, but
he's dealing with a lot in terms of shipping. I know that's kind of where we left off there. I know that's a big ass thing, right?
Okay.
I like I said, I paid a lot for the shipping for that Veins of the Earth because I wanted to get to me, but then he starts talking about his money problem, and it's like 2018 doing amazing, more money than I knew what to do with, giving away 4-figure advances like candy, which who knows if they got that much back, but yeah. Veins of the Earth and Red and Pleasant Land were two of the big things. Veins is going away. RPL is a problem in this way. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even want to get into all that bullshit, talking about the Z. But here he talks about what Rob was talking about, creator profit sharing and all that,
Yes, and that's here, the tangent. All right. We got it back on screen.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a tangent. There it is.
A kind whistleblower told me at the beginning of the year they'd gotten into some privy areas where RPG industry people gather, spaces that not only have I, of course, never been invited to, but I didn't even know existed. I don't know. I'm sure they exist. I've heard hints of such, but I've never been there. Yes, I am a nada.
Are we talking a bar? Are we talking like the men's room in the back of the bus station?
We're talking about secret groups, usually on Facebook, places like that.
Oh, all right. Not a whole American.
No. This is where people, when we talk about like conspiracies in the real world, like with the Bundaberg or something like that, this is where the Bundaberg of the RPGs.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's not for mere peons.
Got to teach me the secret handshake, Eric, so I can.
I don't know it. So please. Where there was chatter about Lamentations of the Flame Princess, this person said their problem with me wasn't the Zach situation, wasn't politics of any usual sort, but because I'd fucked the payment structure of RPGs with many Lamentations of the Flame Princess titles remaining creator-owned. Notice that how many titles say issued under license, and paying in profit share percentages rather than flat fees to creators. And some smaller publishers have followed suit. This hasn't affected the top label RPG companies, I don't think, but has caused a real stink at the levels under that. And everyone is at the levels under.
Exactly. I was just going to think that. Yeah, everybody who is not Wizards is not Paizo. It's everybody else, right? So who are we talking here? Goodman, maybe Fantasy, maybe those other, non-OSR companies that are floating out there. I don't know.
Well, again, here's the thing. You probably could not do that with an RPG system, right? And you probably can't do that with, and again, no inside knowledge, but if you're using, oh God, I don't know, Call of Cthulhu, right? That's a proprietary system. You are not going to probably allow people to use your IP unless they're doing it within the confines of one of those drive-through RPG community programs, which kind of licenses and controls it, right? And James doesn't do that. James is pretty much like, well, Lamentations, the Flame Princess, it's an open system. And when I say open system, but don't fucking write rule changes for James's stuff because you're just gonna piss him off.
The summon spell. I didn't tell him I ignored and deleted the summon spell, that first level game fucker from the. Everybody thinks that's the greatest thing. Fuck that. Gone. Whenever I ran that game. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, before the Crawl zine came out, Crawl was meant for DCC. I was doing some class hacks for Lamentations back when everybody was hacking stuff on their blogs. And James was like, no, I did a ranger class.
Yeah.
And I kind of mixed in the Thief D6 skill ability into the... Oh, God. Long story short. Thank you, Matt. Old dudes use technology news at 7. Hey, listen. I might be old. My hair might get a little crazy because of the virtual screen, but at least I have it.
That's what I say. I may be fat, but the fat stretches out the wrinkles, and my hair is pretty long, so I could grow it over some of the other ones. I'm good to go.
So now, finally, the person crowing the loudest about my Lamentations of the Flame Princess pay arrangements for years and years ago was also a widely unpopular person in many corners of the industry. It does not give me any clue as to who that is, because there are a number of people that were widely unpopular in many corners of the industry, but yet were, I don't know, still sought after. Here's the thing with James, and I'm going to give James a lot of credit for this. It lowers his risk, okay? His risk is lowered because he's saying, listen, I think what James does is he pays like a retainer, an out-of-pocket retainer, and then the bulk of the monies is percentage of sales, right? It's royalty.
Yeah.
And the creator keeps the rights. How often do you see that elsewhere?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's I don't know if that's old school or if it's just a genuine being a decent human being. But it's
not old school. Old school is you work on spec, you pay you get paid and bugger off.
Okay.
So I am impressed with, but again, and James will talk about how he has poor business sense. That is actually good business sense because it protects your potential losses as the publisher. You're putting money out certainly to publish the book and expenses on that. But if you're paying more upfront to the creators and the book doesn't do as well as you think you would, you're out of money.
That was his big proposal that he made in the snow that day. Remember, he was saying, do like a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or whatever the hell the ratio was. But we're all in it together. The writer, the him, and the artist person. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, that's ballsy.
Right.
I told him, I said, I think I thought it was a thing of desperation or genius. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
No.
with a lot of shit with him, you don't know because he's got a genius in him. It's in there. He's a crazy nutty genius. This guy, he pulls shit off that nobody thought would happen. He was one of the first to do it all too.
I mean,
so James knows.
The fact that James is still here publishing all these years later,
yeah,
with the ups and the downs, is huge. I can't say otherwise.
Yeah. And he does have integrity because he did come back. There was something out this before my time. He did some work, Kickstarted it, and it didn't fulfill. And he was never able to get him back the thing that they paid for. But he ended up giving him a lot other stuff later on that he did do as compensation in a sense.
Right.
He couldn't get him what they wanted, but he got him other stuff that more to made up for the value of what they should have gotten. And he just cleared the karmic conscience. The plea was done. You know what I mean? That's good shit, man. That's a good. And I'm hoping I remember it correctly. That's the broad strokes, I think.
I honestly don't remember. The only Kickstarters I remember from James when he was doing the 10, 12 Kickstarters simultaneously.
There was like 18 on India. That was a shit.
Oh God, it was. My advice at the time was you're gonna cannibalize your own sales.
Well,
But
I mean, an argument could be made for that with the books now, the 8 books at a time or whatever. But like you say, it's a shipping thing. You know,
yeah, but here's the thing,
sense.
and I'll be honest with you. I'm going to base this on last year's, last summer's impressive sales numbers. People are, again, as so long as James doesn't hide cards up his sleeve, and the only problem with the rough book is that James is not talking directly to people that are backers, and he needs to.
Yeah.
But if he plays those cards out and says, "Listen, this is what we're holding," he's going to do more than well.
I think he's going to fully recover from this shit show. You know what I mean? It's the attention span of gnats with some of this shit. In terms of let's move on to the next cause du jour, or whatever. I think he'll do well if he comes back with these books are as good as he is implying with all this. I think he'll do well with them, and he'll fund the ability to do other shit. And I think success, while it may breed anxiety in him because the imposter syndrome, I think success will also breed a certain level of confidence to now I could do this, now I could do that, now I'm ready, now I got the resources, now I've reproven myself, I'm back, motherfucker, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
I think he might be able to do it. I think he will. I honestly think he will.
Well, I mean, James has a lot of skills, and he goes on. I mean, listen, folks, I could scroll through. I mean, if you're gonna read all this, please pour yourself a drink before you start.
Yeah.
And empty your bladder, because you're gonna wish you had.
I read it today at work, and I was taking a crap. My legs fell asleep. It's that fucking long.
Night, David. But here's what it comes down to. James, of all, you look at James, you look at Lamentations of the Flame Princess, you look at what James has published, and the last thing you would say about James is lack of balls and second guessing. Right?
Yeah.
And at this point, he, in this update on the blog, he is second guessing himself, and he's afraid to some extent that he doesn't have the balls to follow through. And that's never been the problem with Lamentations. That's always been a selling point of Lamentations. Yeah. All right, if people look at Wenger and go, well, Wenger's a shock jock 20 years past shock jocking, right?
Yeah.
James is somebody who, if he pushes the line and goes over the edge, he does so legitimately, and he does so with his own sense of, I don't want to say honor, but his own
moral conviction.
Moral conviction. There you go.
Yeah.
It isn't honor in the way we would talk about honor, but he has a moral conviction that, you know what, take it or leave it, like it or not, this is the work I'm producing, and I'm behind it.
Yeah. And I think he does. He believes in that. He's like old school ACLU, not the new ones. He's like, he believes in freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and put it out there and shake shit up. I mean, he's like the ACLU of the 60s and 70s, right? I mean, he believes in these things fiercely. It's part of his core of his being. And so I think that's part of the conflict too. I mean, he's going against some genuine principles that he does hold. He may have thought he didn't do or did do the right thing with Zach, who knows, right? And other things that are going on, right? I mean, he took some blows, and so if you question how you're responding, worrying if you're responding out of fear rather than being legitimate and being honest and open and just responding from your raw core of your own being, if he's worried about being a phony, then he's going to freeze himself up. That's
right.
Really what it comes down to.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy once you start worrying about it.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, I've always felt that the Lamentation stuff spoke for itself. Listen, you can tell by looking at the cover and the title whether or not it's going to be something that you could allow your 16-year-old to read or not. I'm not going to say any of the stuff is appropriate for under 16.
No.
If you'd be wary about accompanying your minor child to an R-rated film, most of James' stuff is going to be R-rated.
Yeah.
Some of it is going to be NC-17.
Well, yeah.
You generally know from the fucking title.
There was the Grindhouse book picture with the Medusa. The guys are all turned to stone, fully ready to go.
Joe, you had to bring that up.
Oh yeah,
you had to bring that up. That whole thing, because my old gaming group, when I brought remember, you got a spare copy of the core book, and that I gave it away when we got together for a yearly gathering, the Gathering of Fools, and one of my friends, Dave, looked at it and he saw that picture and went, "Oh my God, it's fucking D&D porn." So this is the days of Google Plus, and I brought that up, and my good dear friend, and somebody's gonna fucking, I'm sure, take that as I'm gonna make that into my ringtone. My good dear friend, Zach Smith, called myself and our friend Greg, who popped in on the thread. That's when Greg got designated the Pope of the OSR, and I was that fucking cop. So, oh God,
it's bullshit.
But that being said, really, it was displayed almost as classic art would have been displayed. So really, it was only, you only batted an eye because it was the male appendage.
It was actually well done. The Medusa chick was hot as fuck, and she obviously just got done staring at the guy she was banging. It was kind of an awesome concept. You always think of Medusa, Clash of the Titans, with that scary snake-headed bullshit going on, right?
Yeah.
And so you look at this one, like, God damn, man, it's a whole different take on Medusa. I never thought about it. It might even, if I were 14 again, it may rival the Succubus in AD&D Monster Manual. I mean, just saying. It's up there. It's up there.
Well, my page opened up. If you put that book down, it opened right up to that page in the Monster Manual.
Yep. Then when Sears catalog came out in the bra section, go there too.
Jesus, fuck you.
He was not looked at the Sears catalog throw the first stone. Just saying.
Well, depends on your age, but yes, we were there.
I know.
So Matt says that we have 992 subscribers.
Oh, nice. 8 more. Go grab 8 friends, motherfuckers, and get them in here. There's 10 of you watching.
Get him now.
10 of you are watching. Go grab a friend each, and we're popped over 1,000.
Sign up your 4-year-old daughter. Come on.
If you do, Eric will get in a thong tonight.
Not tonight. I have to buy the thong first. All right, so let's.
Sure. As if it's not in the bottom drawer in the box in the back behind the thing. All right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about. So Matt's saying Ty delivered on his promise. We'll see if Ty delivers on his promise. Ty Beard promised to get us a mention on a certain well-viewed show when he was on this later on this week. We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of Homer, the ancient Greeks have dudes ready to go all over their.
That's true.
It's
ready to go with other dudes. So shit. Think about it. Yeah.
Classic art is classic art.
That's absolutely right, man. Tanker and a thong. I think he just lost 100 subs. Who's that, Jeff?
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Only for charity, man. Only for charity. Not. Listen, you will be warned before I'm in yoga pants, let alone anything else.
Now, here's my theory of how we do it, right? I think I talked a little bit about this just to bring it to whoever hasn't listened to the last one.
I'm giving myself a blessing before I even hear this shit.
All right. So as you and Rach doing your thing in yoga, right? And you got to wear that Olivia Newton-John base outfit, right? With the what is it, leg warmers and the headband and the wristbands, and it's got to be a flaming kind of color, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the base. And now here's my thought to raise more money. Right, you got a table full of 6 things, right? Let's say a feather boa.
I could get my balls busted on fucking Facebook for a lot less, but okay, go ahead.
All right, so a feather, like one of them is a feather boa, one of them is like a pimp hat kind of thing. Maybe have another one like assless chaps, some shit on there that if people reach a certain level of donations during this show. $300 means the hat goes on. 400 means the feather boa. 500 the assless chaps. You see, you have a whole table full of embarrassing shit to wear. You know what I mean? And the more money you get, the more embarrassing shit you have to wear while you're out there doing downward dog position, right? That's my theory. All right. And and one of them has got to be rage with a caltrop that's giving you you hit like 2,000 gold, $2,000 copper, $2,000, and you get a smack in the ass with the fucking caltrop. Boom, done. Everybody agree with that? Anybody?
No, actually, Tim's comment.
Uh-huh.
Eric, you're probably asking yourself right now, why am I doing this with Joe? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tim. I won't be doing that with Joe. Thanks.
No, I'm not going to be there. If I'm going to watch that shit, I'm going to be full on drunk. That's the only way I'm going to survive it. But I will record that shit forever.
Hey, listen. And this is honest to God. Between the blog and YouTube, I've taken nothing down. I've made corrections. I've made apologies. But I've left my embarrassing shit up because the internet never forgets. I get annoyed at people who go, what the fuck, man? I deleted that, but somebody put up a screen cap. Dude, you were dumb enough to fucking put it up.
Yeah.
You're dumb enough to... Oh, yeah. Pop, I don't have a minute. I'm live streaming. There we go. That's live streaming.
That your son?
My father.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah, computer problems. It's like, I was like, oh, fuck.
You're tech support for him. Who's going to help you get on the web, man? Hopefully, is your son still there to help you out?
Oh my God. My son's like, oh, your Mac is really nice. I go, don't even think you're taking it with you on the plane.
Yeah.
Get your fucking hands off it.
2,000 gold is shaving your head? Thongs and stuff somewhere. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. You're really, really getting me nervous. You do realize that, right? Who's that? Shazar, Matt, or me?
Streaming is forever. Loved ones can wait.
Yeah. Love. I think this is a thing, man. And more every year, you bring more and more people into it. You know what I mean?
All right,
you get a certain level of base dollars donated. You get some more people joined in there. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So Matt, honest to God, late 90s, I was working in the 401 precinct, and over the radio, a job comes over, call for assistance. Central gives it over, and she's like, "Oh, in the confines of the 401 precinct, like 940 Ho Avenue, individual says they're cuffed to a bed and the key doesn't work." Never. Next 10 minutes, the radio was crazy. But here's the thing: now, I wasn't the car that went to it, but the car that went to it, they were non-standard cuffs. So our keys didn't work. We had to call our emergency service unit in. They had to take out the cutter, like the
jaws of life or whatever.
No, the electric saw.
Okay,
They had to cut the actual cuff.
Wow.
The cutters, the jaws. I think it's in the jaws would have cut the chain.
Yeah.
Fine, but they had to cut the actual bracelet off, and that required fine work.
Oh yeah,
I can't imagine watching somebody with that saw going at my wrist.
Plus, it's got to get the bracelet red hot. You're going to burn the shit out of yourself.
So,
holy
yeah.
Crap.
No.
Crap. It was that big ass dildo you found in the closet too.
Oh,
that story.
Wait. Are we asking for that story?
It's after 9 somewhere. The East Coast
it's
after 9
here.
It's after midnight in England or something. So you're good.
All right. So this one here. Honest to God. All right. So this is 1997.
I'm gonna refill. As he gets going. I've heard.
All right. I'm a rookie cop in the 4-2 precinct, and I get assigned to a DOA. Person died in their apartment. It's a shared apartment. They had their own bedroom. They died in their apartment, apparently pleasuring themselves, naked in bed, no covers, and it's a visual, but their ball sack with the sides of like a grapefruit, and it was like a blue, black, purplish, disgusting. So in any case, my training sergeant is like, "Well, we got to, inventory the belongings in this. Thankfully, only this room." So I get the closet. He's going through the drawers, and in the closet, the first thing I find is this huge, I don't know, 10-gallon jug of coins. And my sergeant kind of giggles and it's like, oh, you're going to be spending all night counting that shit. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah. You got to account for all of that. I'm like, so, next thing is this big shopping bag. And I open up the shopping bag and I can't see what's in the shopping bag. So I bring it out to the light and I reach into the bag because, you know, it's what you do with a bag, right? You reach in. And I come out with a really large, greasy dildo in my hand. I scream like a girl. Honest to God, my niece Shannon watches this. Shannon,
did you tell
no,
her you
I'm
tried it out yet? You haven't gotten to where you tried it? Okay,
I'm screaming like a girl after reaching into the bag.
All right.
And my sergeant's like, "What the fuck?" You're like, I'm like, and he's like, "What?" I go, there's a dildo in the bag. He's like, what are you talking about? And I look and go, holy shit. He goes, what? I go, there's dildos in the bag, not just one. It's a bag full of dildos. And my hand is still greasy. I'm like wiping it on the fucking wall. And my sergeant, God bless Fitz, actually, we lost him that September. So, Fitz, this is for you.
Dildo and dedication to you, Fitz. Here we go. Immortalized forever.
Immortalized forever. He passed away 24 years ago Monday. Fitz, God bless him, goes, listen, put that bag on top of the fucking coins. We're done. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, right? That's cool. So he goes, but we have one more issue. All right, what? He's wearing a ring. All right, and it was on his right hand, and most people are right-handed people, right? Yeah. And we know what he died of when he died. He died of apparently a heart attack while taking care of his sexual urges. So
well said, diplomatically said.
Thank you. Yeah. So he goes to me, you got to take off the ring. I go, why do I got to take off the ring? I go, because you got to voucher it. I'm like, what? He goes, you got to account for it. We got to take it back to the precinct. We got to, do the whole vouchering process to secure it. And I honestly, I looked at him and I went, boss, all due respect, we know where his hand has been. You think? He goes, all right, well, you know what? His family should be here in about 2 or 3 hours, they said. But why don't you have them remove the ring? I was like, oh, fuck. Thank God. So now, by the way, the night's not over. If you think that my funny story or my stupid story ends there, only halfway.
It's just starting with the dildo and the ring. No, we're just rolling from now.
Yes. So here's what happens. After that, I'm waiting for the family, and there's a little stink. The body's gone a little. So you're doing the NYPD trick of finding coffee grinds, putting a pan on the stove, and burning coffee grinds. And I don't drink coffee. I didn't drink coffee, but I'll gladly smell coffee, burning coffee, over the smell of death. So a foot post comes by, and he's like, "Oh, I understand you need a toe tag." I'm like, "Okay." And a toe tag is literally what you put on the toe of the deceased, and it gets matched up. They rip a part off that you bring back to the precinct saying, I gave this dead body to the morgue. Yeah. And in the morning, if the family doesn't ID it, you got to ID the money, the body based upon this toe tag. And the guy goes to me, so listen, in a couple of hours, the ghoul is going to come. And I'm a D&D player, so I'm going,
a ghoul? Paralyzation, duck, look out.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm
not an elf either. Shit.
I go, the ghoul is gonna come. I'm like, it was weird because you kind of go, oh, that's pretty cool, but the NYPD is calling somebody a ghoul. It can't be good.
No, yeah, you're looking for the holy symbol. Fuck.
Yeah. I go, the ghoul. He goes, yeah. The guy from the ME's office. Listen, he's gonna come, and he's gonna tell you he needs help bagging the body and bringing it down the stairs because we were third floor walk up. I'm like, fuck. Okay. He goes, well, here's the deal. You're going to have to help him bag the body. It's a 2-person job. I'm like, okay. Well, whatever. We will We will do what we got to do. He goes, but he's going to ask you if you want to take the bottom. I go, take the bottom. He goes, yeah. He's going to tell you the bottom is lighter, but what's going to happen is you're going to be halfway down a flight of stairs. He's going to drop the body, and you're going to go tumbling down a fucking flight of stairs with the DOA on top of you. I go,
who just dead ass naked, just crank it off too. Perfect.
So I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. He goes, no, really. He goes, so I'm thinking he's full of shit. You're fucking with the rookie.
Yeah.
So the ghoul comes, and he kind of reminds me of what I would expect a ghoul to be. He was like 5'5", built like a fire plug.
Yeah.
I mean, and grunted like, "Whoa, I'm here. They help begging." It's like, okay.
Oh God, maybe he was the ghoul.
And then he goes to me, "Hey, you want to take the bottom? It's lighter." I went, "What the fuck did you just say?" And he goes, the bottom. It's lighter. Take the bottom. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm taking the top. He's like, why?
Dude, you should have hit him with the dildo. You should have brought out the dildo and smacked him in the fucking head.
I'd have to carry the dildo in that case. And yeah, Chad, the story oddly fits with Lamentations, the Flame Princess. James, if you want to somehow use this as an inspiration for one of your publications, the dildo and the ghoul.
Yeah.
God bless you. Feel free.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We get the body into the morgue's paddy wagon.
Uh-huh.
They're stacking them like cordwood, even back in '97. And I walked back the mile and a half to the precinct, not wanting a ride after all this. I just wanted to air out.
Yeah.
And I see the cop that gave me the toe tag, and he's a smiling face. And he goes, "Did he ask you to take the bottom?" I went, "Holy fuck!" He goes, there are people that are upset with me in the command for giving you that heads up. He goes, because they wanted to see you learn from the hard way. But he goes, I already heard from the sergeant that you already had to touch a dildo. So I figured you already learned the hard way.
He took pity on you.
So, there.
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
Perfect. Put that in an adventure, right, James? Have some fucking weird ass person. You're gonna get dildo artists. Looking for dildo artists and ghouls. Dildos and ghouls. There it is. Dildos and ghouls. That's the title of the book. Dildos and ghouls. You're done.
Done. The next Lamentations of the Flame project.
Eric Tankar's Dildos and Ghouls. Fuck. Hey, if he asked you to do a thing for him, would you write some?
I'm not talented enough.
I think you could probably pull some off, man. I mean, you got a story right there. You got the core of it right there.
Oh no, dude. I am not talented enough writer for RPGs. Listen, can I tell stories? Certainly. Especially ones I've lived through.
Yeah.
I can tell them very well.
Uh-huh.
But when you're telling me, hey, can I write an okay adventure that I will self-publish and be proud that I wrote it? Certainly. Yeah. Do I write anything that's of a Lamentations of the Flame Princess quality? No. You got to know your limits.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and honestly, would Eric Tenkar be a selling point for anybody who buys Lamentations products?
Probably not. There's enough shit out there with you and the sock puppet slamming Jack's book to the ground.
Well, yeah. Come on.
What was the name of that shtick you had going there?
That was Feltothraxis, named by our very own Tim Shorts.
Oh, really? No shit. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I remember that thing. That was funny, man. It was like that's one of your oldest videos here, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe the oldest. Yeah.
Jesus. People are like thumbs down for being anti-Vornheim. Well, you know what? Fuck you for being pro-Vornheim.
You know what's weird is that I can't, talking about writing, I can create great adventures. I can run long campaigns. I love telling, I love the world building. I love telling the story of the world, and the players are just adventuring one small part of the little history of the entire world that's going on in my head, right? That's good. I like that. But I can't get into, nor do I think I have the skill or talent for writing an individual one-shot adventure. I mean, I could draw a map and I could fill in the blanks on this goes here, that goes there, but there's no passion in it for me, right? Like
Right.
for me, the passion of playing D&D is creating worlds and having the players explore the worlds and be a small part of it. You know, it's not about the game to me is not about the players and their adventure. Their story comes within the context of the whole world story that I'm building. So it's fun and they're definitely a part of it, but that's not my passion. That's not where it lies. And so sitting there and developing, give me an 8-room dungeon with, ghouls over here and dildos over there and a couple skeletons and a lich at the end. I mean, it's not gonna. I don't have any. I don't think I have any passion for it. Therefore, I have no skill for it. You know what I'm saying? I envy those who do because it's a great way to make money. To put out good adventures that people love to play and that stand the test of time. I would love to be able to do something like that, but I just don't have that. My mind doesn't work that way. I need to have it within the context of what's in front of me, and then most people who play with me who long-term campaigns agree that there's I do a decent job with that stuff, but no, one shots can't do it. Adventure modules, campaign modules can't do it. I don't think I could even run one like that.
Well, well, in a way you did because you ran G1 for us years ago.
Yeah, that was more of an experiment and trying to have fun, but you guys fucking ransacked that place.
Of course we did.
Yeah. Didn't you play with Zach in that game?
No fucking clue.
I think you did because I remember Zach was in it. There was a couple other guys in it, and there was one motherfucker who I didn't know too well, who I thought was like reading the module as he went along because he always managed to go to the right goddamn place. That was record time in that Hill Giant one. Yeah. But I did play it once, and I thought Zach was in that one. So yeah,
it could have been. I tell you the truth, I don't remember. It's been so long.
Here's what I'll give him credit for. Flail Snails. He was one of the creators of that thing, and that was motherfucking fantastic. All right. It was awesome. It was basically like inspired by the old days of D&D where you took your character, you moved from one DM stable to the next, and you just kept playing, right? And so it was this entire Flail Snails game. If you announce that you're running a game and it's Flail Snails compatible, you're announcing to everybody who has a Flail Snails character to bring their character to your game, and you'll work with it. Any as long as it was some old school-ish game system, right? Even DCC, I mean, Lamentations, AD&D, second edition, first edition, basic, Moldvay, whatever the fuck you were playing or whatever knockoff edition you were playing, you could bring your character in and the DM would roll with it. He would try to mentally balance stuff. You know what I mean? And
right.
It was an awesome experience, not only as a player, but I did run some games as the DM. And just trying to juggle. This guy is from DCC. That guy is from Stormbringer. This guy, you know what I mean? You're dealing with systems and characters, and you're sort of doing a conversion either on paper or in your head, and you're getting a whole group of random-ass characters. Some got laser guns from this guy's campaign. The other guy got, a thing that shoots fucking crocodiles and have his gun. I mean, there was like a crazy-ass shit that you're dealing with, and you're just rolling with the punches and just having a good time. The players are rolling with it, and it was just an agreement that you're not going to fuck them over, and they're not going to bring in like the bazooka that ends the world and kills the Death Star, right? So you just had fun with it. It was so goddamn awesome, and that went for several years. Sean Sanford ran amazing games in that. Shout out to him. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he had amazing games in that. I wish we still had something like that because whenever you game together, you bond. It's the ultimate common bond right there.
When you game together, your disagreements or your differences, they become less important. They fade away. They really do. Now, Shadzar has a point here. People told him to write adventures, and he doesn't see the point. A good DM tailors our adventure to the players. Nobody can make anything suited for every player in the world. Here's the thing. This is my perspective on it as somebody who has written adventures that I've run at conventions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be bringing one with me to ShireCon, a new one, next Saturday. It's easier to write stuff for low-level adventures.
It is. You're right.
Because the player's abilities, you know what to expect. Once you get to the third or fourth level, it gets a lot harder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And once you start getting to, I'm going to say seventh or eighth level, you're going to write it for the party you know and leave some options for the party you don't if you're going to do this for sale. But here's the other thing. You have to assume that a good DM is going to change an adventure to fit their party. If you don't change it, a published adventure to fit your party,
Your shit DM.
then the failure is on you.
Yeah,
It's not on the adventure. You know, that's my fault.
Yeah.
You know, my feeling on that. Fail Snails, free location and inclusion laws supporting new and interesting leisure situations. Nice, Brook Profit.
Nice. I don't know what the hell it used to stand for. There wasn't an acronym, and Zach created a little thing for Flail Snails there. I just don't remember what the hell it even stood for anymore. It was just a fun time. It was a good time. And the good thing about it, man, is that I got to play in games by DMs whose blogs I read and whose thoughts I admired. And you know, I got to play in Jeff Rentz's game, you know,
Yes.
Zach's game, Sean's game. Yeah, what the hell was that guy? Gus L. Great fucking DM.
Did Trey Coffey also and Stuart Robertson also I think they were involved in some of that stuff.
I think they were, and some of them I played with, and some I DM with. I have this. I was sort of taking notes who ran what, where, when. You know what I mean? And I have a long thing for Sir the Fist of Uther. That was the character who kept he died several times, reincarnated multiple times to the different things. I think I ended his career as like a 6th level. The fuck was he? I don't even remember. He was some hobgoblin or something like that. So yeah, it's a fun time, man. It was a fun time. I wish there was more of that. That was the thing I miss a lot about Google Plus. I dropped out of Google Plus when it started to get really toxic, and took a couple of years off and came back just as it was ending. You know, but I do miss that sort of early camaraderie. You know,
well,
I really
it
do.
makes you feel any better. That toxicity is finding its way into Facebook.
I'm sure. I don't do Facebook. That's the one thing I do not. Fuck Facebook. It's just I got a fake account to see my pictures my brother posted with his kids. Other than that, I could give 3 fucks about what Facebook has. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I got you. I mean, I find that the groups are better than the actual quote news feed.
Yeah.
Because they tend to be a bit better moderated, and you get less of the asshats. And when I say asshats,
that's true. That's true.
You know, I mean asshats. You know, the people that are causing issues because they want the attention.
Yeah.
You know,
I've just reminded me, and I pulled it up here. James is talking about those days, you know, conventions and how he's making some money, and then he talks about blogging and social media.
Yes.
Once upon a time, I was part of a healthy blogging community through ltfp.blogspot.com. You might even be reading this on that very blog. Yes, I am, James. Then Google Plus happened. Then between the blogger interface going wonky, and the more conversational nature of G Plus, I pretty much just migrated over there at some point. Yep, I remember that. I remember telling Pundit, you know, I said, hey, dude, G Plus is the way it is now. Get off your blog or hop over there and get a presence, because you know I knew he wanted to get out, you know, keep up with everything. But yeah, so migrated over there at some point. I had thousands of people looking at whatever I was posting, whether it was about games or movies or what have you, an entire ecosystem. Yeah, but things started to get nasty. I don't know what the trigger was, Trump's election, but people started taking sides, and I was done dealing with the public as a matter of course in the fall of 2018. That's when I was starting to come back. I took a couple of years off before that. It was getting shitty. Probably not coincidentally, just before the real controversy started. Yeah, and it's been a shit show ever since. I miss those days. I miss the good days. I miss the bonding days. I miss playing together days. I miss the before everything went to fucking shit days. You know, in terms of this little community, we were a good community. We were a good, nice group of people, and I don't know what happened.
You know what happened. Honestly, and this happens in cycles, is that there were individuals. There's always going to be this. It isn't an attack on any of the individuals in question, but individuals believe that they should have more authority or more influence over the direction of a community. They believe that it is not respecting their concerns, and everybody takes their. Sometimes people take that community to beyond gaming, and that's what was happening with Google Plus. Now, I love Google Plus because on Google Plus I had nearly 9,500 people.
Yeah, really.
Had me circled. Oh yeah, no, wow. I was, you know, and I wasn't doing Facebook much. Now Facebook, I think I've got 3,500, but this is, you know, it isn't the same. The interaction on Google Plus before it got really toxic was exceptional.
Yeah.
I actually think the worst thing that Google Plus did was encourage people to take their blogger comments and wind it into their Google Plus
Yeah.
You could only post on Blogger if you were part of the Google Plus circles, but it gave you Google Plus activity, but it really took Blogger away from being an open platform. And that,
people commented on Google Plus. They weren't commenting on blogs anymore. There was a rotation I used to do of multiple blogs. I go all over the place and read and comment on them, and then they comment back on mine, or I'd do a post on the same topic and more commenters over there. And then it tangentially went to a different side topic over here, and we bounced over on Rob's and Tim's and Matt. You know what I mean? It was just a nice thing, Gone. I don't know what's going to take the place. I mean, there's no community left in a sense. We have a lot of little communities, but nothing like we used to have, right?
No, there is a greater OSR, but the OSR and in a greater sense, and if you disagree with me, please let me know. But the greater OSR is now more of a marketing term where people who do play or write games that have nothing to do with what has traditionally been OSR, based upon D&D or clones or simulacrums, use the OSR label to sell their product.
Yeah.
That's what it has become to a large extent. Now, I still see the OSR as a community, but most of the OSR that I see as a community is because they are in some way or other involved with the tavern, and they deal with me and other regulars in the tavern. The Discord server is very active.
Yeah.
But in some way, I think Discord and Facebook have aspects of Google Plus, but nothing will quite hit that sweet spot that Google Plus.
Agreed. I don't see anything happening that takes place anytime soon. I think it's grown beyond its roots, and it's taken different directions, like you're saying. But that's kind of what was nice to talk about James, a couple weeks ago, because it was comfortable. Maybe because we're both the same way, and we both have no filter essentially, and we just blurt and say whatever the fuck, and it's okay. Maybe that's why. Maybe we're of a different generation too, where we can say anything and it's okay, right? And maybe that's why. But I think it also goes back to that we've known each other forever, right? Since the OSR's early days, right? We all talking about the same shit together, the same blogs together, and so it's just nice. That's why I was like, no, off the record, man, just seeing what's going on. That's that's where it was at, so there's a common bond we all share, right? We all we all know the secret handshake.
And what nobody you don't talk about Fight Club.
Yes, you don't say anything about Fight Club, damn it. No OSR, but I can't log into the RPG site. I lost my fucking password.
You know what? Probably for the best.
Yeah, it's a good place though too. Somebody compared it to Mos Eisley. Anything happens, anything goes. It don't matter, in that regard. They do. They have good threads there. I will
occasionally lurk. I will occasionally, but I don't have a login.
I do. I don't remember what the fuck.
I don't, because here's the issue, and it's kind of like I don't remember. Do you remember when N-World? I don't know if they still do. They had a sister site.
Yeah, that fucking Circus Maximus.
Yes, which was like no holds barred.
Yeah, it was like those old fuckers in the Muppet Show in the balconies talking shit.
Yeah,
about what happened on the N World. That's all that place was people talking. But I tell you what, even people there were saying that fucking Morris shouldn't have fucking banned me on EN World for shit I said on my own personal blog.
Right.
Even people there were defending me. So yeah, fuck you, Morris. Anyway, go ahead.
So I actually I did have a login there for Circus Maximus, and occasionally I would post. But the RPG site, again, I will lurk, and I've had members of the community go, "Why don't you post there?" Because I know that the conversations I'm going to participate in, I'm going to devolve into bags of shit.
But it takes a long time before they do. I got to give them that.
I'd rather deal with bags of shit in communities that I moderate as opposed to bags of shit in communities that are just going to be bags of shit. And it's all right, if I don't keep monitoring this, I'll just be shat upon. And if I do keep monitoring it, I'll just generate more shit.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I wonder why somebody hasn't made a Google Plus clone. It did go over well with a lot of different people, and usually in hobbies or small groups that shared common interests like that.
MeWe was trying to be that, but it failed.
They failed. They failed miserably. They don't respond to anything. Just Jesus Christ. I got several thousand followers there, I think, because I just started friending everybody to try to grow the group. If I friended them, my next step was to invite them to the D&D group, which is why we have like almost 7,000 or 60 something hundred people right now, right? Because I kept inviting. Then it grew to a certain mass where it just started rolling and snowballing, right? But that's why I got so many people. But the goddamn stupid ass function in that is that if you look at the chat or whatever, it tells you whose birthday is this week. If I got thousands of followers, I don't know who the fuck they are, and I don't give a shit when their fucking birthday is. I'm not buying a present. I'm not going to wish them happy birthday. How come you can't turn that shit off, MeWe, assholes? You know? So I'm done. Little things like that piss me off.
62.55.
Nice. We're good. That's good. And it's a decent place. People do post a lot of stuff, but it's more of an advertiser. It's more of a billboard. There's no conversation that happens there. You know what I mean? There's no conversation. It's more of a billboard of what's going on. You scroll through you see some funny pictures, some funny memes, see some interesting posts on blogs or whatever. But yeah, there's not much going on there in terms of a community conversation chat place. Yeah, it doesn't happen. That's what's lacking.
Shad makes the point is that a lot of these forums have become, the forum of the old guard. And if you're somebody new coming in, you are automatically dismissed.
Oh, yeah. When I came there after EN World booted me for all the bullshit, people's like, oh, another EN World's
refugee
or some shit. And they all fight me. Fuck you. I came here because nobody else would have me. You know what I mean? It was that kind of a place. Dragon's Foot
Court of last resort.
It was. I mean, EN World was big. Dragon's Foot was so focused on AD&D, it seemed like. It's like, I want a little bit more than that, man. And the ODD 74 blog was obviously ODD 74 and the older versions that I really wasn't into. I wanted some more broad-ranging conversations. And so I got out to there. And I spent a couple of years having a good time there, talking with a lot of people. There was some good conversations. And they took a lot longer to devolve into bullshit before they devolved into bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was kind of nice, But yeah, there is a hive mind. You're right, though. There is a certain what's the big purple? Not the RPG. What the hell is the other one?
RPG.net. Big purple.
That's hive mind in it right there.
Well, listen. Here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you right out from the start. The 10 Cars Tavern blog does good traffic for the area of the hobby that it's in. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, it is a gnat. And that being said,
it is a what?
A gnat, small
little bug. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing: it still does by probably multiples of 5 or 6 times the traffic that the RPG site does. Now, why is that? And it's not because I think I do better content, but I think it's because forums as a whole are slowly dying, just like blogs have been dying. And if you don't put the effort into it, it's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
Forums, are not what they used to be. So something like the current drama that's going on about the red, yellow, green list. Drives traffic to places like the RPG site, or if it was up on RPGNet. One of the few blogs that isn't suffering for traffic is EN World.
Yeah.
But
they're what's the word when you're a shill? He's just a fucking shill for anything that the establishment puts out. That's why he's still standing. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he is. This guy. And he's done well for himself. I don't, Christ, dude. Oh, God bless you. Make all that kind of money doing this bullshit. I assume he's making money, but at the same time, he's never going to go against the established status quo. This guy, right?
Well, that's where the money comes from.
Where the money comes from, exactly.
You can't hurt yourself in the pocket.
Yeah.
The list is the RPG site thing. Right now, it is, and it is driving the traffic, and. Mm-hmm. If you're one of those people who doesn't like the list, right? You look at the list and you go, "Oh, this list is bullshit."
Yeah.
Oh, why are you discussing it? Because the more you discuss it, the more hits you send to the fucking RPG site. All you're doing is reinforcing everything they want, whether it's a good comment or a bad comment. You are doing exactly what the pundit wants, and you know what? If that's what you want to do. God bless you.
Yeah. mean, the dude just hit 4,000 followers recently on his YouTube channel. So,
well, he got called out by not the Quartering, not Sargon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. No shit.
Sargon
Recently?
Yeah. No, like a year ago or
Okay. Yeah, I remember the big
ago.
spike he got out of that. Yeah, I thought it was a more recent thing. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm looking at my Blogger feed, and not Blogger. I use Feedly now, right? I got the Feedly app on my phone. I got it on the computer. And I'm just thinking about who's left, right? I'm looking at the names because I must have like 800 blogs, most of them the older ones, and then a lot of the newer ones I found in various places. We got, of course, you got the people who own the business, like the Schroll Dens have their blog,
right?
But who's still blogging? Who's good, right? Rob Connolly, Rob is in here. Rob in the house. He's still blogging. You know, Bat in the Attic blog. I just put out something the other day. It was good. A great blogger, Swords and Stitchery. Great shit. He's always putting out good shit. So this guy, he's actually from Connecticut too. He's up in northern of Hartford, I think, somewhere way the hell up there. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, great blog, always putting out good shit. Been around since 2011. Yeah, he puts it out on his blog. His name is Eric, and he since New Hartford, Connecticut, since 2011. Good shit, right? Rob Connolly is still putting out good shit. I still see people from way the hell back too. Let me see here. Where was it? We got, well, Zach's still putting out shit. First of all, Ancient Vaults is out there. Grognardia. I don't know how he puts out stuff. The Alexandrian, always good stuff from the Alexandrian. Lurking Rhythmically, been around forever. All right. I mean, the Tao of D&D, Dyson's Code, right? Really good stuff, but there was hundreds of us, right? A couple hundred back then. Where's everybody? Avengers putting shit out. Savers, Total Party Kills putting shit out. But just a lot of people that just stopped. You know, they just stopped doing it. I don't know. BX Black Razor still putting shit out there, right? The Other Side blog. Gnome Stew. Gnome Stew is only not.
Yeah,
really,
but Gnome Stew is weird.
Exactly. They don't fit quite right. 10 foot.
Yeah, they're not really old school, but a little bit old school.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Tavern's been consistent in publishing posts, but the content has changed. All right. I mean, the opinionated content has left the blog and gone to YouTube and the podcast because you have to change with the times or you get left behind. Now, the blog traffic is still pretty good, actually. It's some of the best traffic I've ever seen for the blog.
It's good.
But I don't think it would be any better if I was still putting opinion content on it and doing 3 or 4 posts a day.
I think people listen. People have changed the way they. Rob, no problem, man. That's true. Thanks for the shout out. He said, I think people are changing now the way they consume, I guess, for lack of a better word, information and knowledge and thoughts and ideas. That they are more and more. I know in myself more and more. I go to YouTube for a lot of stuff. YouTube. I subscribe to Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and one other motherfucking one, HBO Max. Yes. And I swear to God, I do 3 times more YouTube than the rest of those combined, right? And I pay for no commercials. I mean, there's so many different ways to get information. You know, I love it. But I'm not reading as much as I used to, but I'm listening more, you know?
And I like to go to YouTube, and I'll be honest with you, I'll go there for politics from the left and politics from the right before I'll go to cable TV because I'll get more unvarnished opinions and critical opinions. I actually enjoy watching the left criticize the left and the right criticize the right because then I get more of an actual view of what's going on.
All right, Eric, I got to give you a thing then. You would love this if you like that. All right, this is legit pretty fucking good, right? These 2 people, Sagar and Jetty and Crystal Ball, believe it or not, her name is fucking Crystal Ball, but it's legit. They're both real good journalists, and he's the right, she's the left, but they both have in common, right? They both have in common the fact that they look at the people versus the institutions. They look at both sides are fucking the people over versus, because, they're on the side of the little guy rather than big institutions, but he's from the right view and she's from the left view. And neither of them are loved by anybody in their parties, essentially, because they both take this view. And they used to be on the Hill TV show, right? They
Okay.
had the Hill website, they had the Hill TV, and they were the morning show. They had an hour or so every day, and they did a huge audience, right? And they've been really, really popular. I think they were the main drive to this thing. I watched them every day pretty much. And then they went on, they got famous, basically. Joe Rogan had them on his show. And so instantly, boom, through the fucking roof with their popularity, right? Several times. And so they decided, you know what? The Hill is censoring us, basically. I think that's what they said.
I'm sure.
We can't do what we want to do because they're still beholden to the corporate interests. And these two are radicals on both right and the left in terms of they're for the people, right? They're like the People's History of the United States kind of people, but from either side of the fucking aisle.
Okay.
Now, what they did was they left and they created this new show all on their own. They put their own money into it and just formed a YouTube show and called the Breaking Points. And they now at this point have like 600,000 fucking people, I think. You know, it's amazing. And they have a great show, guys. And anybody who's listening, I make it a point to listen to these people every goddamn day.
Right.
That they have a show. Yeah.
I found it, and I will give it a check.
Yeah.
I'll add it to our. It's funny when Rach was still working, and I would make breakfast, and we would sit down for like 30 minutes of, YouTube videos and breakfast, and somebody would be like, Cash Jordan, let's look at some apartments in Manhattan.
Yeah.
He was always on, and some other mindless stuff. And then I'd be like, all right, let's, what kind of politics we want to, look at. It's like, all right, let's go one left, one right. And it's like.
Yeah. And these guys, they have it out. They agree on a lot of principles, but they hold no punches. They have it out with each other, right?
That's cool.
I mean, this is good shit. And they have good guests on there who are uncensored as well. And if they come in there and they try to spin the party line, they decimate them. That's why a lot of the higher level guests don't come on the show because you don't pull your party bullshit here. It's a good show, bottom line, guys. So anyway, hey, let's get back to D&D. Eric,
all right.
I
recently got the Lamentations painting back up. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That looks like that's James after.
Is this a new one?
Getting
this
abused.
Just come out? Oh, okay. This is the same one. Okay.
No, that's the same one. This is James after he got abused from the back of the ref book going. Give me some fucking update. That's all you want.
Yeah.
And that's James's expression because it's like fuck. All right. Come on, you can do it.
So tonight, I bought Temple of Elemental Evil, the 2-volume slipcase edition for Goodman.
Oh, from Goodman. All right.
Pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it. I gotta say, I'm happy. I did it. Sorry, Goodman. I did it off Amazon because of free shipping. So sorry, but it's pre-ordered. It comes out September 14th. I can't wait to get it. I think Rob Connolly, didn't you get it too? Or are you on the list? Or is it coming already? Or what's up? But I'm looking forward to this because it was everyone has their sweet spot module. Hamlet, me and my brother, that's it. We've run it each a couple times for different groups, and it's just it feels like home, like nothing ever really has since. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Temple books. Yeah. Guess what I have in my hands? Rob, nice, man. Nice. So you got it already. What do you think, Rob? What do you think? Is it good? Hey, Rob, are you able to come on the show? We got about 10 minutes left. You want to give us a quick review? Eric, I don't know if I'm overstepping my bounds.
No, you're never overstepping.
All right.
If Rob wants, man, I'll send him a.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ready or if he has the capability to hop on right now. It's now my official bulletproof shield over 5e.
All right, Rob, hold on a second.
Rob, you want in? All right, let's hear. I want to hear what you got to say, Rob.
Invite's going to come via Discord in a second. Hold on.
Rob, he's never been on with us, I don't think.
No.
Rob, he's going to send you a link, Rob, in Discord. You click on the link and you go to this weird-ass staging room area called SteamYard, and then from there, Eric will bring you into the show, man.
Hold on.
I got to hear this. I'm curious because you're looking at it. You have it in your hands. I just pre-ordered tonight, which I guess it's a pre-order only because it's out officially on the 14th. But I hope to get it soon. It's my thing. You know what I mean?
Rob, you have an invite in Discord. Just click on it, and
this is how we roll, guys. There's no preparation.
No.
Random guest with 20 minutes left in the show. Come on in.
You're the next contestant. Here he goes.
There we are. Are we here, Rob?
You're Rob.
I'm here.
All right. Nice. Rob Connolly in the house. Nice, Rob. You're all orange, dude.
I'm here.
You're orange, but you're here.
Yes.
All right.
You didn't shave either today, huh? All right, yeah. All right, man. Yeah, Rob, what did you think? You got this thing, right? You got this module. And so, I mean, the super module. I was wondering what the layout is because my theory was that TOEE, the first book, would be all of the old module itself plus essays and letters and reviews and thoughts about it and whatever. And the second book would be the 5e version. Was I right? Is that how it went?
Not quite.
All right. What's up? What do we got?
Yeah, it's a bit spur of the moment, so I don't have my camera set up.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so the first book is volume 1 of a 2-volume set and has the Temple of Elemental Evil cover. And if you look inside of it, they have a couple essays, including what appears to be Gygax's original 1974 write-up of the setting.
No shit.
Yeah, apparently it was the Office campaign.
Okay.
So it's a good read.
Yeah.
And
cool,
they got an interview. Interview with Jeff Easley.
Okay. I heard that they did that. Was that it was like 20 pages long or something, I heard. Is that true?
I will let you know. From 22 to 43. So yes, that is accurate.
Okay. That's awesome.
I didn't see this. I jumped to the reading the module.
Yeah.
There's digital scans of the original player character sheet for Cobort from the campaign run by Chris Doyle.
Cobort was one of the guys in the inn. He was one of the people you could hire as an NPC or something, I think.
Like shit, I got character sheets like this on my nostalgia file.
Nice. Nice.
So the deal is that only out of the hundreds of pages of this book, only the first 72 are the reprint.
How much of the total pages? 700?
Well, if you want to, the books combined are, and I'm not kidding, it replaced Hero System 5th Edition as my bulletproof shield. We're going to have to redo that video on YouTube.
Nice.
So, it has 723 pages, and only 72 pages of it is the original publication of Hamlet and Temple of Elemental Evil.
How is that possible? Because the original Hamlet and Temple were 128-page module. I have 4 copies on my shelf right now. I'm looking at them. How is that possible that they?
Well, they don't have. I guess they don't have a lot of duplicates of the actual temple. So there's just only one copy. There's multiple.
No, there was only one version.
Yeah, there's only one copy of Hamlet, but they got all the covers. And this is something I haven't seen. They have a fold out of the main village map.
Really? I was wondering if they had, because remember they had they had that separate map booklet in the back. Remember? I love that. Did they have?
No. This is like the module, like T1 module by itself. Okay. They had you open up the module, and the inside of it was the village map. Well, they reproduced it in here, full size, and it's a fold page.
Wow,
so nice. That cost them some money.
Yeah, that's pretty slick, man. So there's no separate map book. So I guess they incorporate the map of the temple into the adventure. There's no separate map book.
No, I mean they got the map book on the back of the I'm flipping through it now. Yeah, I can recognize. Yeah. So right here, starting on page 207, is the map book.
Okay.
So then we get to page 225 of volume 1.
All right.
Now we get into the 5e stuff.
Okay. Oh, really? You hit 5e that early? I'm surprised.
Yep. And they apparently, remember, I only got this 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Apparently,
you are a speed reader, so I've heard that. So you should have read it 4 times by now. It even took me a week to read Roots, and that was like the champion. That was the Mount Everest of speed reading back in the 70s. Yeah, it's the War and Peace of speed reading right there. Yeah.
Okay, so they changed up some things. They didn't change things. They structured it more like what you would expect a 5e, in that they have an initial counter.
All right.
Kind of like the initial counter of the Fandelver. Before you got even to town, you had something.
The fight with the goblins equivalent, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pre-Hamlet. This is an encounter pre-Hamlet, you're saying.
Right. And it sets up something in the village.
Because you know what's interesting, Rob, is sort of a side tangent. Joe Block, Greyhawk Ragnard, was on Eric's show on Wednesday. I was in there a little bit chatting him up. He is going to be going to ShireCon. He is running an adventure which is set pre-Hamlet. He made it up and it's free, and he's going to put it up on his blog, I guess, when he's done with the ShireCon thing coming up next weekend. But it is a pre-Hamlet adventure that he created because, as you know, you are the guy for all Wilderlands things. He is the guy for all things related to Greyhawk, right? So you guys are the two opposite sides here on the whole thing in terms of D&D settings.
And I love Greyhawk too. It's just Wilderlands was easier for this high school guy to run at the time.
Yeah. It's whatever you see on your bookshelves, basically. So anyway, what are you seeing there? So this is turning into the
okay. So then you go into the 5e adventure itself, or the 5e Hamlet itself. Then you have the ruins of the Moat House.
Okay.
So that's pretty standard.
Yep.
And then you got a little sandbox.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how in the T1 through 4 they had the map of the region around Hamlet and Nome?
Which never made sense. The miles never matched. It was completely off based on whether you looked at the map in various. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, it was stupid. Hopefully, they fixed that.
So now they have a new map that's the same as the old map, but they have Verbonic in the upper left corner. They have something called Jeunesseville, and they have 12 numbered locations.
Oh,
scattered amid the Cron Hills. Plus,
that's cool.
They have the Greyhawk stuff, like Gnarly Forest, Verbonic. The entries from the Greyhawk Gazetter.
Yeah.
And then they have some entries about the things specific to the map, like the low road, the high road.
Okay.
And then they get into Nob.
Yep.
And then
they Mos Eisley of that area. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right.
Loved it.
And then they get into the temple.
Okay. All right.
And
did they change much within the temple, Rob? Like, I'm curious what they did. I ran TOE. I converted on my own to 5e, and I had to create separate cleric subclasses for each of the nodes, right? For earth, air, fire, water. And so I'm curious, did they do something like that? Did they create a separate cleric subclass? And is it better than mine? That's really the true question.
Well, first of all, I never was a big fan of the temple. It came about when I was more or less doing my own thing. So I never ran it, but I did run the shit out of Hamlet. And I actually, on my shelf, there's an entire binder where I rewrote Hamlet for GURPS.
Nice.
And but as far as the Temple of Elemental Evil goes, so that starts on page 336, and we're still in the first volume.
Wow.
So the rest of the first volume up to page 363 is the temple. And the second volume is all temples plus the appendices.
So did they end with a level, like they finished on level 1 and went to the other ones as, at the end or something?
Yeah, they start on level 1 on volume 2.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the upper levels there, perfect. That's a good split. And I heard they fleshed out the elemental nodes with actual encounters rather than leaving it to the DM to swim in deep water. That's what I heard, but yeah.
So I'll look at that for you in a second, but the appendants are deities, demigods, and demons, characters, new monsters, new items and magic, handouts, which I wonder if they actually expect people to tear them out of $100 book.
Oh, fuck you. I'm taking a picture of my phone and printing it out. I mean, who the hell would do
because
something
there's
like that?
No PDF.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got to respect that, actually, because there's so many things you could look at and test drive. Let's call it test driving, right? On the old Trove or whatever you got your shit from. And in some cases, it was a true test drive. I bought this shit afterwards. I did purchase a lot of things. I bought the Veins of the Earth because I looked at it as a PDF, and it's like, I just spent $123 fucking dollars, half of which is shipping, to get the Veins of the Earth sent to me by next week. But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't look at it online and see the thing that it was actually looking legit. And so I got to give Goodman credit, because on the one hand, they're losing money on potential PDFs, but they're losing also money on loss of sales due to PDF. But on the other hand, the temple sells itself. Keep on the Borderland sells itself. Castle Amber sells us. The Lost City, all the ones they've put out, it sells them. They sell themselves. You don't need to have a PDF for the free advertisement. So they're just taking a stand and saying, "Fuck you. We're putting it in book form, old school. You're not going to steal this shit from us. It sells itself because it's fucking good, and it's stood the test of time for 30 or 40 years." And so I give them credit for that. Long rant.
So it looks like I'm opening up to the original here. Let's see. What is this? The Greater Temple, the Inner Chamber.
Interesting. David Betzek just said, as I understand it, this is
going to really shock 5e fans because they kept all the spell alterations.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, they have several pages, as you would expect.
Yeah.
That list that goes through all the 5e spells and say which ones don't work. Find familiar.
Interesting.
You're gonna Radovic is gonna be hard up for this one. Find familiar, no effect.
Yeah, he's since retired, and now I'm playing a fighter, a noble fighter in Rob's Tuesday game. Yeah, it's easier than then. I wanted to play an elf in Rob's world because at heart I bust my brother's balls for being a min-maxer, but I am the same fucking way, even maybe 5 times, 10 times more. So I will maximize my guy as much as I can. So I said, I'm going to play in Rob's world. I want to experience what he's been doing for 40 fucking years in his setting. I want to see what that looks like. And I'm just going to play an elf simply because they have infravision and a +2 intelligence bonus or whatever the hell it is in 5th edition. Therefore, I'm being an elf. And I inherited a whole lot of shit in terms of being a demi-human in Rob's world, which I was not ready for.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot there, man. I'm like, what? I'm this, I'm that. I got to do who, where, what? They're like the elves of Middle Earth. And I'm like, holy shit. I just inherited a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to go. I played them at the 8th level. Now I'm retiring because it's a good point in the campaign. And I'm going back to a simple fighter where I can just
you avoided the village with pitchfork, but we're trying to go down that route.
I know. Actions have consequences in Rob's world, and because it's a rich world. Ross, I think one thing Rob and I share is that we love the world building. We really, really enjoy that. I think, right? Is it fair to say, Rob?
Yeah, I have a lot of people. I've learned not to inflict everything I do on you guys, but I do a lot behind the scenes because
me too.
I love making King's lists, and I know that's a very obscure taste.
It's all right. I mean, it's our happy place, man. You got to live where your happy place is. All right, so Rob, we're wrapping. We got 10 o'clock. We all got to go to bed. Give me your 60-second elevator speech on 5e. Like it, hate it, why? What's up? Not 5e, 5e Temple. I'm sorry, the Goodman 5e Temple.
I think it's going to work. I didn't read in detail, but I would. If it wasn't for my recent experience with Desolation, I would probably run it.
What was wrong with Desolation?
What isn't wrong with an old school D&D module?
All right. I see what you're saying.
You guys, look how rich you guys are.
Yeah, maybe that was good. That's why he retired. He was loaded. He could scribe all his spells and hire some horse.
And let's face it. I mean, yeah, for the modules, it's a top of the line module for that era.
Yeah.
But I run it, and it was like, oh my fucking! Now that I got a decade of publishing, it's like, you gotta be. I'm not doing this to you guys. I'm not doing this to my guy. I'm gonna make some shit up.
Yeah.
Because the final part, that was all made up by me.
Okay.
Because the way the original writ, you were you guys just flipped on the fantasy channel and you just want to watch the whole thing.
Oh, what's wrong with watching the? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Jin versus the Afreet battle.
I was just I was like, give me popcorn. Yeah. It's interesting. It was weird the way it did it, but
if I were to run, I like I said, I don't know the tempo as well as I do Hamlet, the Hammond House, and the Nulb area.
Yeah.
But this looks like it has everything I would need and love to use Hamlet in those areas.
All right.
So
there you go. I'm looking forward to reading it.
I think the additions enhance it. But as far as the temple goes, I think that's going to be your area, Joe.
Okay.
So,
all right.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it. So Rob, what was your grade? Would you give it on a D20? What ranking would you give Goodman's Temple reprint?
I'll give it like a 17 or an 18.
There you go. All right.
Not bad.
All right. That's good. I can't think of a better way to end our show than that.
Well, we covered everything. Right? We covered.
I think so.
We covered the evil list. We covered James Raggy.
Mm-hmm.
We covered dildos.
Dildos, definitely dildos and handcuffs.
Handcuffs
So
and DOAs and DOAs and coffee.
Yeah, yeah. Ghouls
Good.
and coffee. Dildos.
Temple of Elemental Evil 5e.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That is one hell of a roundup.
I think. How are you going to title the show when you change the title?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to go. I have to retitle from just the basic title.
Yeah.
D&D and dildos, maybe.
Yeah, D&D and dildos. Perfect. Thanks, Rob, for joining us.
Lamentations
You're
also
welcome.
Flame Princess, D&D and dildos.
D&D and dildos. I think I swear to God that you could incorporate dildos into a Raji module easily.
Oh my God!
Somehow or another.
But Rob would have to be the one that actually writes because he's more talented than either one of us.
Rob could write definitely the module in 10 times over the map.
Well, I mean, okay. So this is the deal. James Raggy comes with me. He wants me to write a sandbox. My forte. But he wants it set in Civil War England, which is 17th century.
Okay.
He offers me a couple $100 in advance to do it. And I went, my mouth dropped. But it was Skype, so he can see me. My mouth dropped. But my mouth dropped. Said, sure, I could do this. That was a mistake. Not because of anything that Jim did, because creatively, unless I have an idea of what I'm doing, I just can't pump out shit like people. Just not me.
Yeah.
And this is what the job required. Good stuff, but it had a deadline. I had to do stuff. And I got about a third of the way through, and that was a chore. I like what I came up with, but the rest was going to be looking at the time it took me to come up with the first third.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So finally, I said, Jim, this ain't going to happen. But I'm telling you this: I did not spend the money you advanced me.
All right.
It was still sitting in my PayPal account. I cried that I had to turn it over him, but it was the right thing to do. And I did it. And I did it. And we ended. Now, he never really asked me for anything after that, but on the other hand, too, my style and his, we don't.
Yeah. I can't see it.
We're not quite on the same page on that.
No.
Business-wise, we're on the same. He is top-notch, and if I had the funds to hire people like he does, I would treat him just like how he does. So I appreciate you think I'm worthy of writing for him, but it just unless I have an idea, I'm not going to tell somebody I'm just going to do something out on because that road is paved for darkness with me.
Rob, the OSR game that's waiting to be written, DOAs and dildos. You know it. D&D just slightly different.
Oh, D&D. One of the D's is dildos. What's the other one, guys? Dungeons and dildos. What else?
DOAs and dildos.
D wasn't the perfect. You could pull it off, Rob.
Yeah.
Your wife may be pissed at you for making money off of dildos, but you can pull it off, man.
Rob, thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, you're welcome.
We got to bring you in as a regular guest.
Yeah,
an actual video feed. And just so you know, we don't really prep, so you'd be perfect because you'd be more prepped than either one of us.
Yeah. And we got to get Rob and Tim on it because they've known each other since age 15 or 16, whatever the hell it was. So they've been together almost 4 decades.
If Tim's there, he won't let me snowball you guys underneath. I forgot who the guy was, but he had me on, and he didn't get to talk for another 20 minutes.
Nice.
He asked me a seemingly simple question, and I had diarrhea of the mouth, and I
You
just
got shit to
wouldn't
say.
shut up.
You're gonna say it. God damn it. That's it. That's how you roll, man. I like it.
God bless.
Yeah, but I should have been more aware.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, man. We're not aware.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm lucky I can keep keep up with the comments.
You know how much I drank and smoked tonight? I'm not aware of goddamn anything except that it's 10 o'clock and I have to take a leak. So why don't we
I will wrap this up. Again,
all right.
Thanks to Rob.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rob.
I'm not going to thank Joe because Joe and I do this every 2 weeks. So fuck him. As always, we are in the midst of the world of COVID. I am not giving medical advice. None of us here are medical professionals. All I ask personally is use your common sense to keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice. Thanks to everybody. We're about 8 subscribers away.
8 away.
Giving away shit. And
son of a bitch. You're going to see Eric in a thong.
No.
Motherfucker. Get all your friends around to subscribe. He said it earlier. I got the sound clip.
Ignore the thong shit. That's all Joe. Okay? Ignore Joe. Oh, God.
I'm going to buy your thong, Eric.
Yeah,
send it to Amazon. I got your address somewhere, I think. It's going to come. You're going to get Amazon thongs.
No. All right. I'm ending the stream while I still can.